I'm sure I've casted Hampus before, like a really long time ago.
This is a proper Swedish pug right now.
It really is, and it might actually work. Swedish pugs are incredibly scary. So this is going to be very interesting. I think we can expect a lot of aggression. Charles looking to defend, and so far it's a bit complicated. It's just Pimp left, and he's going to get annihilated by Hampus.
What's interesting, and a problem, excuse me, my coughing. Cold drink still making me cough. What's interesting here is that Astralis can't counter-strat GODSENT. They can't come into this with any expectation. I mean, you could argue that I mean, the best counter-strat maybe for the GODSENT lineup was just to play solidly and not take so many risks, because they're bound to make some errors because they don't really have a plan.
The best thing to do is to force them to execute. So the best thing to do is to save for a full buy, number one. Don't half buy ever. Then molly out everything to stop the first 20-second rushes of every round. And then when they cannot rush, make sure that you can never get lurked on by never rotating, and don't ever move until you see the bomb. And then the furthest GODSENT can go is try to force them to default, which they're not going to want to do because they're going to have a hard time getting up alley, getting out of C-Con, and then put in a position to do some janky executes. But just force them to play slow, and then to play like some kind of execute. Force their default to fail.
And there it is, the perfect plan. That is the perfect plan.
But the key is don't half buy. Don't play their game.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to see if Astralis read it in the same way. Because that's the thing, is that Astralis playing good fundamentals is still not necessarily going to be the optimal way to approach this team. Because I think like some of the stuff that you highlighted there, part of it is good, part of good fundamentals, and part of it is actually just a straight strategic approach here. So let's see if they will play like that. It's going to be really interesting to look out for what you highlighted. Well, he's doing some damage here. Another tag onto Freddy B, but the bomb will be planted soon enough, I would imagine. No one in position to really stop this. And the Astralis could think about playing passive exits and try to keep the guns, like with a sort of some level of priority in their mind, to keep the guns they have into the next round. Oh my god, that's like a perfect UMP spray across two players. Pretty good.
I have no idea what the spray pattern on the UMP is at all.
It's just
down.
like, it's just down, yeah, it's just up. Oh, for me it's up, but for you guys it's down.
You play inverted?
I play invert, yeah.
Oh shoot! Why? How'd you become like
Just
that?
always.
Why are you like this?
Why are you like this?
Pilot simulators.
Yeah, is that why?
I used to play some like space fighting games which were fun, but I think it was
so
because
I was correct.
I think it's like two things. Like I used to originally play like the Quake 3 demo, like FPS games on my brother's computer, and he would play invert because he would play all those like
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
yeah, those like space fighting games. And I've actually just got like bored of having to like change it from invert. Like I just got bored of just setting that, so I just played with what he was using, and I just stuck with it ever since.
Decided that up would be down and down would be up.
And the thing
That's
is
quite
that
a decision.
well, the thing is that like it actually makes sense as well from some perspectives about like how you aim a gun. Like you don't aim a gun by doing this. Like no one can see what I'm doing because there's no camera on me. But it does you can make arguments both ways.
I don't. That
there are advantages too.
So basically, Dan raised his arms up and like to the middle again, but that doesn't make any sense to why you have inverse. What does that mean?
Well, like when you actually aim a gun,
Right.
you tilt the gun at the back, up and down. You tilt the gun, not.
Oh, I see. So like, yeah, people have it inverted. I think like on the Mac, the mouse is inverted by default, but I always have to reverse it. So if I swipe two fingers down, the screen moves down.
There are some advantages based on sort of like some people based on their setup will have an advantage like aiming down to up and up to down. Like some people will be better at one of those two movements. And with invert, I think it feels much easier to aim at people below you, actually, than at least.
Yeah, so it would just come down to what you would do more often. Like if you felt like you had to aim up more often, then it'd be better to have that movement be the most comfortable direction, right?
And after a few years, it leveled out to a degree where it's like, oh, it doesn't really. I'm just used to this.
Yeah, you're not even the only one who plays.
There's a lot of very, very good legendary players in Quake, and I don't know about CS.
I think
that played invert, but
I think Existence played inverted. There was some French player that played inverted. I don't know who it was. I can't remember.
Well, it's buy time for Astralis. They are 0-3 versus the likes of GODSENT, who are just charging into the A sides again.
Yep.
Splits, go, 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 go. W is the only key on the keyboard.
Good shot from Pip. But this is exactly what Lorna spoke about. Astralis not really entering the round with enough grenades. They have to do it on the shots, and they will. They hit every shot. No one's yet to die except for Zipex. Pit!
Wow.
Oh my god, speaking of mechanics here, Pit really going for it. Only gets 2 though in the end. We see an attempt at a controlled tap at the end. But Astralis will pick up that first round. I really badly want to see Pit actually on a team where he can thrive. I feel like he's one of those players that just never got that chance. I feel like there are some players like that.
Of all the players who are in Limbo, he's the best one. He's dope.
Yeah.
He is dope.
He's not under any like contracts anywhere or anything weird, right? He is like a complete free agent.
I think he is free from it.
Yeah, he is.
He is, right?
He is.
Yeah, he announced that, I think, last month.
Awesome. Well, I hope to see him somewhere that will complement him, I guess is the best way to put it. I do miss seeing him play.
See, so here is the natural progression as GODSENT. Slow it down a little bit, go for their defaults. It's a pretty favorable trade outside. It's not bad for a minute 25 to be 4-4.
Zipex, waiting, searching, seeking, wondering, asking, finding. His head rips off, unfortunately for him. But fortunately for GODSENT, but Pimp continues to deliver with this AWP, keeping the numbers close, QRB creeping. But he won't be allowed to proceed. 2 versus 3, this bomb must go down. While Freddy B plants it, Glaive advances his position. Pimp still holding tight angle, still running distraction. And while he does that, Glaive will capitalize. Freddy B will go down as well. Now I'll leave it into a 1 versus 1. No smoke for Pimp, but a Molotov for Doplan. But there's time to defuse before and after. He needs a defuse kit, Pimp. He's picked up an M4. He's touched the bomb, and there goes the Molotov. He's slowly creeping onto the high ground, but he has no kit. So he's better hope that there's one near the site. Doplan moving forward, and Pimp may have to abandon ship. But Doplan's hunting for him, and Doplan will find. Doplan will kill. Doplan will crush.
He's amazing. Disco Doplan is amazing. Maybe the 4 kills, and he, I think, has proven that all these players have proven that they thrive without any structure, or with very little.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the Swedish way.
Yeah.
I feel like that is, and that's the reason why if you're going to face any pug team, you don't want to face a Swedish one, because they are by far the best nation as far as like individual skill goes and just being able to pug it out and be successful. So this is actually a very scary prospect because they all have a position of 0 expectation as well. They can essentially be playing for fun at the moment in that sense. So, and that can really fall very flat on its face, but it can also work really well. There's no real in-between, I think, because they don't have the strategic depth to have an in-between, to have a tug of war. There is no tug of war. There's either win or lose from GODSENT.
Yeah, I think it's a case of don't play Astralis at their own game, at their strengths. You won't allow them to take informed decisions by playing a quick game, a simple game. Speed and simplicity is the order of the day, and trains a rough map when you're losing your buy rounds.
Also, this is what I thought that NIP should have done to Astralis' CT side right from the get-go, was play as fast as possible. And that seemed to be what they had the most trouble dealing with. But here's another buy. They have 1 incendiary. They have 3 grenades. So that impact damage is going to be important. They don't have any kits. They really do want to stop the plant if possible. And there have been a couple of plants so far this half for GODSENT, which is really good for them. And it looks like they're sticking to the basics here, but they aren't actually executing out a T-con that quickly.
Dupree on the blue train, and he's going to get the first kill. Very nicely done, even the second one from Kirby. And things looking pretty good at the moment. It's actually, I feel like there's a really good analogy, like poker analogy here, whereas like right now, you know, Astralis, they want to play proper serious poker, but they're sat down against like a billionaire who has there's no consequence to losing money at all, to losing whatsoever. He has no, does not a poker player or anything, just has loads of money.
I like that analogy. They
There's
picked the
actually,
fight with a homeless man.
There was a woman from one of the clubs I used to play in, which eventually got shut down by the government in London, and she won a qualifier to the World Series of Poker, and she wasn't a good poker player at that level, and she made it to like the last 30 or something. She won $400,000, but what they advised her was to not try to outsmart the pros, but just shove on them. Just shove. If you want to win the pot, just shove on them on the flop, basically. Don't play poker with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I play poker. That's why I play tournament poker, because I wouldn't have to play hands. I could play everything pre-flop. It makes it very easy to make decisions. Oh man.
That being said, there are some differences. This is more like a stylistic choice. I mean, in poker, there's going to be some more RNG to help you out, but you certainly, for the analogy's sake, you're not trying to play their game, right? But
yeah, the more drawn out it is, the more it favors the stronger team.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you want to have as little decisions as possible. The more decisions in the game, the more likely Astralis are going to come out on top.
That's a good way to put it too. The more, just try to force as many aim duels as possible. They do look like they're trying some stuff though. Like they just did like a false exec outside, ran 3 IV, and then it fell apart because their split from T-Con came out too early and those guys died and no one at Ivy had made their way up. So that's what Astralis want to make them do, is force them to try to play a little bit too structured, more structured than they can handle, considering they have 2 subs, and then should be an easy crush.
Crush.
Kill. Destroy.
Astralis looking for their 3rd round. Oh, that's a fast shot from Twist, and Dupree has made a fatal mistake. It's a deep smoke from Pitt. Being out of action for so long in professional matches, I wonder how many smokes, how many grenades, flashes he may have forgotten. Unless he's keeping busy with FPL. Sure he is. Ladder room, maybe a place GODSENT approach. While they've got the man advantage, they've got 3 players on pistols. Limited grenades, but they've got 1 for connector, should they require one. Oh, Glaive has just almost sat on that one. 4 GODSENT players. No, they're all here actually. One is off camera, but they're all here. The whole gang is here. There you go, the grenade. 2 players in the B bomb site. Zipex up close, holding an angle, waiting for a plant attempt. And Molotov will cause more problems, but Hamper snaps him. That is unreal, not expected, and it's collapsing for Astralis. GODSENT might be the black hole. What is going on with these Deagles? Wondering what on earth has just happened. He's forced to scurry away. That is a difficult round. And surely unexpected.
So pause has been called. As Kirby tries to get a cheeky kill, he will do so. He's a cheeky man. This is pretty scary right now.
I did wonder actually about his movement there, because he just walked closer to the bomb and connector but didn't have all the health in the world.
I worry actually that... I worry, Mo, that we have a situation where Astralis won't ever have enough nades to have all the proper counter grenades.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to them really, right? They have to not spend money on the middle rounds too. Because you can have a buy, but you can't have a complete full buy unless you... Like, if you full save on a round like this, then you have a round where you have at least 3 sets of full grenades. But people always spend a little bit of money here, and then it eats out of their next buy.
Especially because Kirby has an AK, so they're probably thinking, oh, if we get another couple things, you know, it's sort of an argument, an incentive. But I really hope that they do realize that. And I think it looks like they do. They don't really invest with it. The PT50s, that's it. Which is 3 PT50s, $900 total investment. Outside of Kirby's, what he saved from the last round.
It also, if you give a GODSENT enough money to build up to like the point where they have full smokes, full Molotovs, they're gonna have less incentive to rush as well. but they won't realize that that's not actually. They might, but they might not realize that that's not actually that good for them.
Yeah. I like this. We're actually seeing some good tactics out of GODSENT, some good basics, and they've gone 1 for 1, but that's okay to get Pit in that position. That's absolutely worth it. So off angle from Kirby, but he still gets absolutely crushed by Hampus. That is a very fast kill from him. Pit, oh, timing, able to deal with Zipex, makes it look easy. Now it's down to Pimp with a P250, finds an AK, can save this, and that's probably the win. That's the big win in this round. Gets a frag as well. Now they know where he is. But he sees an opportunity here in more frags.
And now, does he go for it? Does he... I mean, he can buy in the next round anyway. Even... not to necessarily to win the round, but just to take the money away. As you can see, GODSENT can't really afford to lose all these weapons. So this is an interesting predicament. I mean, he could just stay here, actually, because there's an AWP on the floor, and they may want to rescue that, so they will come to him, as they will.
Very nice, very, very nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good save.
That is a massive amount of work from Pimp there at the end. And 7-2 is the scoreline for GODSENT, and we can get that really full buy from the Astralis now. So let's see if they're able to slow down all the timings from GODSENT with the full grenades that they'll have.
If they win this round, GODSENT have no money if they don't plant.
They didn't prioritize Molotovs.
That is peculiar.
Why didn't they prioritize Molotovs? I think Kirby even had enough money to.
I mean, they bought 3 AGs, and all you need is like, what, $300 more to get the incendiary instead. Would imagine they have that money. Zipex on the helmet as well. See if it's going to pay off. He's trying to take these engagements. Shot in the face with the AK. It's the end of Zipex. He gets nothing, and that's a massive problem. Astralis may just, yeah, they're going to go for the immediate save. Zipex has to get something for Astralis to have a chance there. That's crazy. That's an 8-2 already on the T side of train. I feel like this is actually kind of insane because GODSENT. Okay, so before going into this game, we didn't really know who even was going to be playing for GODSENT.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
We worked out that Pit was going to play. It's a pretty big frag, but if they can survive with 3, they're fine. And then Hampus, I've really casted him once, like 3 years ago or something. Right. I know nothing about him. But yet they are in a really commanding position. If Astralis lose any maps against GODSENT, I think that spoils their chances for top 4.
Yeah, well, there all that happened was since they weren't spotting lower ramp, they didn't have anybody else to help out Zipex. They're weak to upper, which is some teams will walk out upper and try to abuse. We saw Renegades try to do that one round, and there was an off there, and they couldn't get out. Right, that's kind of all Astralis needed to do. But instead, they didn't have anyone else to support him, so they put Zipex in a really awkward position, and they expected him to get 2 kills because he was forward. And they know that GODSENT are going to move pretty quickly, so I think they just need to be more active there. And again, if they had Molotovs, could have shown them out of choke points. I'm not sure why they didn't prioritize them.
GODSENT have slowed the pace, but I wonder if they're keeping track of economy, if they expect some kind of force buy or something here. But GODSENT, they go for a flat-out execute. Again, you got the late grenades from Astralis, and then a nice opening there from Dupree. Not sure if he saw Twist jump into the angle, but he'll certainly punish him afterwards. 4 versus 3 now. Glaive has been lost. A long spray from Kiabi. Still got a few bullets left, but he has support. Hampus around the smoke. Hasn't been detected yet. Now he has. That's an important round for Astralis. They get GODSENT back in the position they were in a round prior, but they've got a worse buy this time if they choose to buy. They will go for the eco, it seems.
Yeah, pretty simply put. I think maybe they're getting to the point where they're winning so many rounds. They're like, all right, we can't get away with going quickly over and over again. Even though I think that's not necessarily true. They decide to go slow, and when they go slow, they've lost most of their rounds. So that's a pretty simple cleanup for Astralis. So if he smokes them out, stop it. Giving them a chance to breathe.
Dupree doing a lot of work with the AWP, taking over from Pimp for the time being. And maybe Pimp will pick up a second one when an opportunity arises. Not many rounds remaining in this first half. And GODSENT, sorry, Astralis need to win all of them. 5-round line at present. 1 4 for sure.
If you throw enough things against the wall, something's going to stick.
Mud.
Have you ever thrown spaghetti against the wall, James?
No, why would I do that?
So you're a baby.
Actually, people do that to see if it's done. Sometimes you throw it against the wall, see if it sticks, and then it's done. That's the trick. I never use that though, because if you just
why would you want to throw anything against the wall? Then you've got a dirty wall.
I would just go on YouTube and see if someone else done it.
It's
the millennial
I tried
way.
it once because it's like, oh, why not? I'll try that. But then I realized very quickly after, it's like, well, if I actually just cook it for the right amount of time, then it would just be al dente every time. I don't need to throw spaghetti against the wall, like, to see if it's done. You just cook it for the right amount of time.
I respect that you went through that process. Sometimes people need to.
It is like a very student-y type thing going on there.
I would think like, why do I want oil on my wall and spaghetti and moisture? This is not good for my wall.
I put very, very little.
Producer says why don't you
oil
just taste it? I mean, that's another thing you could do as well. You could just eat the spaghetti as opposed to throwing it on the wall.
Yeah.
But it's too hot.
So there's a ping issue for the GODSENT players. We may see a short delay here. When I was in Lake Como, I had the best spaghetti I've ever had. Because proper Italian spaghetti should be slightly hard.
It's al dente.
Whereas when I cooked it, it would just be until it's not hard anymore.
That actually, it's really interesting because when spaghetti's done properly, for me it's great. But if it's overdone, if it's too soft, it makes me actually a bit sick sometimes. Which is really weird.
Does the texture ruin you?
I don't think it's texture at all. It's just it just gives me a stomachache. I don't know why. It's really weird. If it's overcooked, if it's too soft, it makes me feel ill.
When it's done slightly hard, when it's done properly, Italian way, it is outstanding. A plate of spaghetti with at most a bit of tomato is so good.
Yeah, the food speaks for itself.
I like alphagetti.
Do I dare ask?
What abomination is that?
It comes in a can. Cooking in 2 minutes.
The thing is, like, to get al dente spaghetti, you need to cook it for 10 minutes as well.
What is al
so
dente?
like,
What is that?
That's basically, it's Italian, like, it's
Hard, a little bit hard.
yeah, a little bit hard. Basically.
That's all that means.
That's
just cook
what
it until it's just a little bit hard.
Yeah, it's like it's how they describe what you were talking about. That cooking spaghetti to that
it's a
degree.
style technically.
So
but
good.
It's how you're supposed to do spaghetti properly.
A lot of the
Al
best
dente.
or highest rated restaurants in America are French. Where are the Italian restaurants at? You're not American, but I mean, you have an American accent. That's enough for me.
Do I? I don't know. I don't eat. I spend a lot of money on sushi.
On sushi.
Yeah, not so much other.
We have to do that.
We have to do that
before we leave.
Can you guys, if you guys have eaten omakase, like proper omakase, like 5-star omakase, tweet at Dan and tell him how good it is.
And
he doesn't need more convincing, but yeah.
I love sushi, so that would be.
James, we felt like you'd like that too if you haven't had it, because LA is one of the best places. It's the best place outside of Japan in the world to have proper.
I'm not familiar with omakase.
It's just the chef will serve you each piece individually, and they'll make it in front of you, and it's one piece at a time, for about 20 pieces or so, and like a dessert and everything.
When I was in Tokyo, I went to Tsukiji Fish Market at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch them sell the fish, and there was a sushi place on site, which I went to, and there was like another Western couple there, and you get this big laminated sheet with fish, and you just point at what you want. And they got one fish where I was sitting at the bar where he prepares the fish, and he took a live fish out of a tank, didn't kill the fish, just cut the sides off it and made sushi out of it, then used the head and the body, wrapped it around a cocktail stick, and served the sushi with that as decoration while the head was still twitching.
That's what I'm talking about.
And they were like, all the girls freaking out. I was like, what the hell have I just witnessed? It was pretty crazy.
That sounds terrifying.
It was.
I like my food still moving.
I just like to throw it against the wall.
You have octopus and it's super fresh, and you can actually the suction cups. You can feel it suctioning on your tongue.
Stop. stop. You've got.
Actually,
I've
reverse now.
actually experienced.
that's not
that
what Omakase
in,
is, but
Taipei.
that's yeah. You can actually order it. You know that scene from Old Boy where he eats the falls asleep with a squid in his mouth,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the thing's moving. He had to do that scene 100 times.
And he also, I think he never. That guy is like has a very strict diet. Like he hates, like or a very strict. He's very
He
strictly
didn't actually eat it.
religious.
It was in his
The
mouth.
thing was alive.
Yeah. But he's very religious, and it's like against religion to do that, to eat anything like that. But anyway, now GODSENT, we're back into the match. And it's a very, I mean, as we expect from GODSENT, a very fast round with this sort of mixed lineup, very puggy style on the outside, leaving Kirby for the two-man spray down again, perhaps, which he's been really consistent at, but that's not really an ideal range. GODSENT, they're going to take probably every duel that they are offered with all of the confidence. Look at Disco Dogplan at the moment. He's having a crazy good game. And GODSENT, they had the perfect start too. They were able to crush Astralis' economy, which prevented them from really having the nades to slow down GODSENT's play style. And so we see this 9-4 scoreline. Is there hope for the Danes?
Maybe their CD side isn't actually that good. I think there might be some room there for Astralis to come back if they do make this like a 6-9.
That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point.
Coordination may be lacking once the halves change, but Astralis will need breathing space by way of some additional rounds here. 9-6. Possible. Hampus, the lurker towards A, taken down. Look at the rotation into B. Astralis know exactly what's going on.
Oh my god, he's found such a forward position. Can't connect the second, but it won't even matter because the rest of his teammates are doing ample amounts of damage to the remainder of GODSENT. Now there's nothing that remains. 9-5, or 5-9 as Astralis pick up a round. Zipex having not the most fun time in the world. They're on 3 kills. He's having a struggle on the B-bomb site. We've seen him almost immediately die when GODSENT decided to play contact around that position a couple times. But now they're just down to pistols. The last round of the first half. Let's see what they've got in the bag. Another rush, perhaps. They just have to outplay the B player, and if they do it very quickly, if they're able to get a kill onto Zipex very fast, then the round is very winnable. But I like what Zipex is doing. He's going to allow the plant, which I think that he should. And so smart maneuvering here from Zipex. He's got some support out of Pimp with the AWP as well.
Oh, timing from Zipex. As soon as they emerge, the grenades are out, but he's supporting his teammates. That has allowed GODSENT to advance position. Now the bomb will go down in the smoke. It's the last round though of the half, so they need more than that, but they've achieved the first goal. It might be a late flank maybe from Freddy, or he's just holding on to ladder room. Meantime, GODSENT will slowly get picked off by Pimp, delivering frag after frag after frag. And there's another one with a pistol. Nice work from Pimp, and Freddy will try and pad the stats a little bit. But no.
It's easy to basically say with GODSENT, they did what they needed to do. They got a pretty damn solid T side. They got 9 rounds. That's a really, really awesome place to be. We can see that they did win the pistol as well, which obviously helps massively. And I feel like winning a second pistol is a requisite for them. But if they do win it, again, with those 9 rounds that they already have, they have given themselves a chance to sort of slam dunk this against Astralis. But I feel like, again, as we said previously, Astralis have given themselves enough breathing room. But again, over time, which is what all that Astralis need. They just need time. I think they are going to get there. GODSENT cannot allow them to win this pistol.
Definitely one benefit they have is that on the T side they can control the pace. So they can pick how fast they want to go. They decide to move out T-Con fairly fast.
Wow, really good position from Kirby. Look how far forward the T's are. I love these smokes, but GODSENT twist. He's going to get 2 picks there. As Pit is going to get 2 of his own as well, leaving just Dupree isolated on the green train. And GODSENT, amazing.
12-6, is it real? Is it real?
Real.
Seems likely. I wonder why that bomb didn't just hang a right. They really need to plan it. I don't know. If Kirby was able to get out and ramp the train and everything. Why wasn't the bomb?
That boost for Twist was, the timing of it was so incredibly good. Because of that boost, it actually destabilized the round massively. I mean, he got 2 very quick picks from it as well. So really amazing boost play there from GODSENT. I think it definitely made a difference. Now they have to not mess it up. They're against a 4-spy. 1 smoke onto Pimp. Where do you want the smoke to go, guys?
I wanted to go Ivy.
You want to go Ivy? Where do you want it to go, James? A Christmas wish
1 smoke.
to rule them all.
Let's see, minute 10 on the clock, and he's in main. That's a tough one.
Got to decide, James. Come on, you're running out of time. Got a minute left.
Normally the 1 smoke would go towards connector via B, but they're clearly not positioned for that. So 1 smoke. I mean, you could put it between blue and purple train here, or brown, whatever color that is. It's kind of a bronze, really, isn't it?
Blue, purple, or bronze.
Yeah, I mean, earlier on in the round, you might want to put it there because at the bottom of that camera shot, there is a stopper, a train stopper, where you would have an AWPer hold an angle towards main, so that obscures that position. But for now, it's not really necessary. So I don't even know if we get a chance to throw it.
If he throws it Ivy, his teammates can get out of Ivy as well, and they don't have to watch their back. And
I can't see him throwing it.
I was thinking Ivy
as a
well.
stand-in. I just can't. See
well, maybe he won't get thrown at all because it's still in Pimp's inventory, and the push has commenced. The frags will be made for the pistols. 9 seconds to plant. 7 seconds to plant. It's been initiated. A couple seconds to spare, and they don't even need the bomb plant perhaps because they've got all the frags. Wow.
How on earth?
What happened to Zipex? How did he get 3 kills?
They just got GODSENTed.
Oh my god. They did. They actually did. I actually thought I was watching GODSENT right there. Amazing. Astralis just running in, making it work with no time.
I can't believe waiting for a minute for no reason actually worked. I mean, they wouldn't want pushes. There was no pushes, so once there's no pushes, it seems like unlikely. But
it goes to like from best case immediately to worst case within 1 round for GODSENT. Oh, just 1 from Pit. That's pretty decent, all things considered. But I don't think it's going to be enough here. Kelly will shut down the choke point very quickly.
Come on. Show me the money. Where's Cuba Gooding Jr.?
I love black people.
Sorry, what?
That's cool. That's
Part
fine.
of the quote.
That's good.
All right, is that okay?
That's what he says right after.
I thought that was just really out of the
That's what Tom Cruise says when he says, "Show me the money." And he screams, "I love black people." Yeah.
Ah. Because I didn't understand the reference, so I thought you were just saying
I figured
that out of the blue.
I figured someone wouldn't, and that it'd be awkward, and I wanted to be in that awkward zone for a moment.
Yeah. That's where you do your best work.
You wanted to bathe in awkwardness.
So let the moment resonate.
Okay, well, GODSENT's not in a good position, to say the least. We'll be going for a rush here towards the ramp from B towards the pop ladder. Let's see if they're going to get themselves into the halls position with any frags. There's not really much going on there, so they'll be jumping straight down. And I think they are going to sort of pocket line their way into death destruction. Demise at the hands of the Danes. Disco, Doppler. Disco dead. Disco dead.
Freddy B is Freddy D. Because he's dead. Well, pretty close now. We are pretty close. So now come the initial tests for the GODSENT CT side. We'll see how much Astralis can make them struggle, or if GODSENT will take the initiative. If they'll get aggressive, they'll play close towards main. Maybe even throw a pop flash in there. Who knows?
Kirby's been playing really well today. Just saying. Because especially because he has come under the most criticism of Astralis of recent times, and today he's really been delivering.
In fact, right.
When his team needs it the most.
There's no way in there for Twist. I think his foot maybe showed a little gap, but the gap wasn't high enough to peek for a shot. Freddy B from the back, but the bomb is on the site. Not getting planted just yet. Kelby doesn't know what angles are safe, and now He knows that that angle was fatal. Dupree has a minute 10 to find 3 players. It's a very nice burst onto top lane. He had the advantageous angle. He was there first. Oh, I saw it coming. I would presume. I want to believe.
Imagine
like Mulder.
if he gets that kill, though. He definitely goes for the committed play. Did he think it was A? Or something? He's shaking his mouse around there.
Maybe had
Yeah, he might have thought
or
it was
a court chord.
Interesting. I guess just checking for that flank. Anyway, 11-9 is the score. GODSENT able to survive, keep their head above water, but they're not swimming at the moment. They're doggy paddling at best. I want to turn that into something more effective, and it's going to require a round victory here. Astralis have everything to play with. A little bit of aggression. Zipex throwing bullets through the smoke. They're a scary prospect for the prospective aggression coming in from GODSENT in that position. And this is interesting because Zipex still has no idea that there are 3 players there. That still doesn't tell him too much. He's going to have no idea that Pitt's about to push him. This is a brilliant play, but will Pitt check the showers? No, he won't. Locker room, showers, whatever. Will be Astralis's.
Astralis heading towards double figures. Double, if you prefer, if you are so inclined. We will allow double, but only at home. Twist, dancing, bouncing, out of the rounds. Well then, Astralis have made it to 10, and Freddy B is approaching Force by territory with a purchase of a Deagle. And the match has been paused. So some background on Hampus. Somebody tweeted me. It was Christopher TJ, CTJ. No, it wasn't actually. That was a completely different tweet. Jasper, at I am so laid back, says, Hampus used to be the in-game leader for an iteration of Red Reserve that attended a DreamHack event at Launders, at Follow DDK, at James Bardolph, at ECS League, hashtag ECS4.
I don't think it was necessary to read all the ads. Yeah, I think, wait, was that IGL for Red Reserve? DreamHack Valencia Red Reserve was at DreamHack Valencia.
I wouldn't know.
I don't remember if, I don't think that was, I'm not sure if Hampus saw that team or not. But it is cool seeing all of all these players from Swedish Bugs be very familiar to us who casted 2 or 3 years ago, and they were just on teams like Epsilon or what was Disco's team? They had some funny
Epsilon,
names.
wasn't it?
Yeah, well, his the one before that.
The dirty team. Freeze time is dwindling. It's going down. So, some pistols have been bought. Pitt has gone as far as Kevlar. Hampus has a flash, so all the players in the A site, where will this flash be headed? Man like Hampus. Christmas Hampus. I've never, ever, ever had a Christmas hamper.
I don't think I have either. Maybe I have.
I've always seen them advertise, oh, get this lovely Christmas hamper, this will make a great present. I'm actually the best person at giving people presents, but I've never... Actually, no, I think I might have given someone a small Christmas hamper before.
The stuff you've given me has just been stuff that you didn't want, that you bought for yourself.
That's not necessarily true.
No,
I
probably isn't. Yeah.
I bought you a diary.
Oh, right.
For one.
But Sue already bought me.
My diary first.
Yeah, probably true. Yeah.
Cringe Gods.
Cringe Gods. Ah. Yeah.
Nice. I like that. It's a good name. The Eagles trying to run amok here on the AE up, but really not having too much success. Astralis about to equalize here. I feel from this point, you can only really see this going one way. Sort of Astralis just beginning to run away with it, having all the money, having the ability to play the rounds and take the initiative in whichever way they choose. And GODSENT are going to need some creative plays, I think, to disrupt that. I don't know. I feel as though GODSENT cannot just play passively and expect to win this. They have to take a lot of risks to mitigate the disadvantage they have in just being a mix against, you know, a team. You know, even though it's just 4 of the original lineup, it is still 4 of Astralis. So that is quite a lot to deal with. And I don't think you can beat them with a lineup like this without taking massive risks. You can't just play standard CS against them here.
I think if you naturally look at the map and the fact they're on TD side, they're not going to be able to justify pushing their teammates over and over again. But I think one of the best things they can do is try to pick something and push it nearly every round instead of waiting, because Astralis are going to. But Astralis are also waiting for them to push. So this is what Astralis should be doing. You know, you've got to like cool it down first, and then. It's like you've got to have that, you've got to put like some walls up around this ball that is bouncing like crazy, and then just watch it for a while, and then figure out how to attack it, figure out its pattern, and grab it.
And as you say, like it's an interesting situation for GODSENT, because I'm feeling like one of the only, or the best impression they can probably make is around team main. I think that is something you can clear with Molotovs. You can expend resources to take that away. But if Astralis just plays slow rounds, it can really be a good counter to that. And then you've invested a lot of utility in something that doesn't really help you a huge amount if they play very slow.
That's a really awkward fight. Especially when you're running left and right. It's annoyingly awkward. And this is surprisingly winnable for the GODSENT team. Perhaps they can take the lead once more. Glaive is close, but he's got a bomb. And Freddie B is going to look the wrong way, surely. Oh, look at that. He has stopped just short. And he will emerge to his doom. It's like a little deer swimming across a lake, only for a crocodile to come along and absolutely annihilate it. You can actually see that on @NatureIsScary.
That is a scary Twitter. That is very scary.
It is,
Twitter.
yeah. It is.
It's pretty amazing.
I love it.
It is really awesome. Some of the stuff on there is really disgusting, but it's
nature.
It's good. You need disgusting stuff in your life.
So, double AWPs. I like this. This is interesting. It's fun. It's novel. It's new.
But is it avant-garde? Probably not. Tex trying to spot out the defense here. GODSENT have pin in position. Glaive not going for the immediate trade frag, perhaps tagged down too low, now caught by another player. And Astralis do not have many places to turn in this round now. They can't go B. Dupree is the best chance, and he hits a pixel shot. Maybe, just maybe that's the start of something here. A minute to play with, a smoke down on Ali. He's going to play behind it, which is pretty interesting. Oh, Freddie.
I'm not even sure he would have made it out of that.
Yeah, he was very dead. That's the checkmate right there. And somehow Dupree. Oh my God, Dupree, you're a beast. He's done enough to try to bring his team back into this one, but it's 13 and 4 points of health respectively on the remaining Astralis players. Pit has a very solid chance to do this. And Dupree, he made it so possible. But Pit can still shut it down.
Oh, does Pimp rotate down the ladder into A again? No, he's still going into B, so Pit's rotation has not been heard by Glaive over towards E-Box. And now Pit has opportunity. Continues to walk with the grenade, but now Glaive is in the and Pit's legs will be exposed. What a turn of events. Could have gone either way in multiple situations, but here we are. Astralis make it to 13.
Well, Dupree did a pretty good device impression in that round. Pushed up with the AWP, he had to do something. Otherwise, the round is just so incredibly over. Gets us like a slither of an angle to pick from. He gets it, and then it all kicked off from there. Beautiful stuff from him, and now they're against an anti-eco scenario. Beautiful.
It was a good grenade though. It chipped off of everybody's health, so any one single headshot will just take them out immediately. And it's already begun. 3v3. Disco's got a piece of prey.
That's awkward. It's an unreliable thing, the CZ, in that kind of a scenario, when they're not facing you. And they should be quite aware that Hampus was in this position, that he, well, they will very much be aware of that now. Look at Pitt just scanning for that deal headshot. He is quite good with pretty much every gun, having such strong mechanics, but Hampus has been outplayed. There's not much he can do from this position. He's got no Kevlar as well, wants to save the AK.
No wine in his Hampus. Astralis moving to round number 14. I know NIP are watching, Exist tweeting some support for GODSENT. He even spelled their name vertically as well as horizontally.
Yeah, they have to be cheering for them, obviously. They would like them to take a map.
Cancun boys.
Cancun boys, yeah. Cancun on the line. Sweden sticking together.
I've flown to Cancun, but I didn't go inside Cancun. I went to Cozumel instead. And it was glorious. It was absolutely glorious. I even had a crab in my shower.
Oh, did you win that poker tournament, by the way?
Which one?
The one in Vegas that you went to? That
No,
trip to
I had...
Oh, did you show down KK against
I had aces. I had kings versus aces versus queens, or queens versus...
Oh my
yeah,
God, that's
I
so
came out on the wrong end. Aces tripled up.
You got dominated, James.
I did, and so did Pimp very quickly by Twist, who's trying to hold down the B bomb site. He's got a second player in tow, but gets caught out of position maybe, and that is a massive shutdown. And the one of them won't make its way over, but a second one will.
Whoa!
Has it come in time though? Hampus with a massive 2K. This is a very fast-moving round.
Hampus going in at the moment. Pure Swedish power. The power of speed, the power of the AK.
Astralis have been doing some really cool mid-rounding. And here they're definitely taking their time. I don't know if Dupree is going to push farther. But
Hampus with the full nades.
oh.
Will he turn around?
Oh boy.
Turn around. Okay, there it is. And he's going to catch the back of Dupree. Will that be the end? It was actually Hampus with all the grenades. So there's nothing for Disco. And you can see the Glaive is going to have a couple hits at the throat. No info as to where Disco dot plan is. He's got a great position. The vantage point should surely eventually pay off, especially as Glaive is going to be looking to move towards the upper door. But he hasn't got any grenades to bounce off of it. Disco will swap out for the rifle. Oh, that's going to force Glaive's hand. Disco looking the other way. And that's just a timing thing, man. That is just pure timing. And that's going to be match point for Astralis.
Yeah, he almost had that. If that molly had grown anymore, there was no way that Glaive could have run through it with the healthy head left over, and Disco could have stuck that plant. Though it seemed like he got off it for a second, so who knows? Who knows if there's time to run around? But we don't live in that world. We exist in the world where Astralis get match point.
Triple FAMAS for GODSENT, and that is a position where the CTs always get to connect it first. Always, always, always. But I don't know if Dupree was trying to jump past the angle. But whatever he was trying to do, he paid for it. Early advantage for GODSENT. Exactly what they needed in a round like this. Smokes towards Ivy. Astralis in position to split the A site with the 4 players they have. I'm not sure if anyone's in ladder room just yet. Looks like they are. Trying to creep up. You see the bullets whizzing past their heads. Oh, this boost could be quite something. I don't know if Hampus spotted Glaive, but Glaive spotted Hampus. But he's not really in a position to do anything about it. In the meantime, Hampus will get a kill, but he'll get instantly traded.
And they're kind of struggling at the moment on GODSENT. Oh, Pitt with an engagement there on Pop Dog. And GODSENT do actually still have a player on Ali, but look at this. Pitt is stopping the rotation that perhaps they were looking to open up from this position. He's still creating threat and presence for a flank. Just being alive is so impossibly annoying for Astralis at the moment, because Kirby really needs to be able to play off of Glaive and vice versa, but Pitt just shuts down their ability to team play. And now it's all up to Kirby and his ability to get a 1v3 clutch. And it's not going to happen. Wow. Shot straight in the head by the AWP. GODSENT stay alive. They can absolutely bring themselves back in this. They have guns. They got money. Grenades.
How many rounds did they win on the CT side? 3?
3.
3.
1, 2, 3.
Things have got to change, though. They have come close. They have come close to... They should have won a round that was a 4v2. There have been moments where they could have put it together.
Twist. Oh, he was so close. Took a notch off the belt, maybe. Maybe could have made a new one. Astralis have the map control. Lots of utility expended in this area. Things will slow down. GODSENT got a few, well, one Molotov now, so they've used a lot of utility to stop any fast play from Astralis, but what do they do beyond that position? It's going to be time to fight once again. We see, I think, Hampus in main, and he's going to hear Pimp running above him. So that might be cause to put a third person in the B bomb site, but they haven't quite done that. He's going to get taken down with one frag, and now Twist has to buy time for his team.
Bomb down, and the CT is already filling the CT side of the B yard, which is a very promising outlook for GODSENT in their ability to retake. The only issue is that they don't have any grenade sets left, so they can't abuse those positions as much. The lurk is also coming from Pimp.
Well, they saw it, though.
And Pimp will die on the lurk. So it's now just 2 left. On the bomb sites is 1, and the other's in the upper position. Hampus down with a flashbang. Really causing a lot of problems here for Glaive, who cannot get the kills here. Zipex has to go. Does he even have time here? He doesn't have time to make his way around. He realizes round for GODSENT.
That was nice. Hampus used that information perfectly. Like, there was no reason for him to shoot because he could continue with his flank. He knows that his teammates are going to assume no one can come from the back, and then also that he can tell his teammates to just watch Z, which Astralis are putting a lot of stock in that flank to actually get a kill because he got through ladder. So there was way more information that GODSENT had than Astralis knew, and that just that made the play so much more simple for them. So Astralis attempting to ice the kicker by calling a pause.
Glaive just shy of $9,000, so he will spread the wealth. Full buy for both sides. So many T rounds for Astralis, but the well is looking a bit dry at the moment. Got to go deep to find some more water to take them over the line. GODSENT themselves digging deep with their 2 stand-ins on the CT side. Rounds have been rare.
Honestly, I bet you GODSENT probably feel like playing with this lineup in these circumstances probably feels much better than every other game they had with their actual lineup across the entire season. So in that sense, that is true, which it very well might be. That it does actually make them even more dangerous. And I mean, I believe that's part of the reason why we're seeing such a competitive game.
Hampus looking away from the flashbang, he's been baited. Second player comes in, but he'll only see 1 on the death cam. Smokes around the bomb train, or on the bomb train, not around just yet. GODSENT may be able to use that to his advantage, but he's looking at WP. Got to look right place, right time. 1 kill for him. He's going wide, and that exposes him to 3 different places, and TRB will take him down. 3 versus 4 now as Swift tries to even the score, but they're overwhelming the bomb site. Freddy B can't see the bomb go down. Not much he can do about it. 2 versus 4. No more mistakes for GODSENT.
They're looking to try to play this patiently. Pitt needs to get a good pick off here. If there's a peek, he has to get the kill immediately. If they can deal this player on the green train, which they can, and they don't take much damage from it as well, there's really a chance now for GODSENT in this retake. It's so precarious. Players all over the place here. It's even a team kill coming in as Pitt, well no, actually Pitt just kills himself, but that's going to be it. 16-13, the final score for Astralis as they weather the very dangerous, very volatile